so first story, we're going to try it again. Take 2 or 3 minutes per story, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. I'm just going to do the screen share here. First one, we talked about this earlier, GPT 5.3 Codex. I wanted to revisit now. We are at about 3 weeks in the wild. What's your thoughts on how big of an impact this has been now that we've had a couple of weeks with 5.3 Codex?
So just yesterday, I think, it was finally made available on the Responses API. So until then, it was available through Codex. But because OpenAI is rather generous and inclusive to the developer community, they allow OAuth connection to your ChatGPT subscription, which not only saves you on tokens, but gives you access to these models before they're made available via API for general use. So this has been available in other agent harnesses. It's been available in Windsurf. I've seen it, and I've seen it in Open Code and in Droid. And it is amazing. The main thing that I've seen as far as the technical report and the benchmarks is it's slightly better than GPT 5.2 Codex, but it uses half the tokens. So that's like really significant. And it costs the same. And a lot of people don't really take that into account when they look at cost. OpenHands recently released OpenHands Index, which is a way of tracking aggregate benchmark scores for different models. And one of the great things that they do is they look at cost with the token efficiency in mind. So if you have a model like GPT 5.3 Codex that takes half as many tokens to do the same task, it essentially costs you half as much, even if the price per token is the same.
Now, it's funny. I think this is a spot where the human analogy actually works. Because you have people. Some people are very verbose, like to go on, meander, go on tangents and subtangents, and other people are just straight to the point. And with these harnesses, you can actually look at the model thinking, how hard it tries to do things, how like Kimi K2.5 thinking, it reflects a lot and says, I did this, maybe I should do that. And all of that kind of thinking out loud. On the one hand, it's guiding the attention mechanism. On the other hand, it's burning tokens. And there's like you said, you want to quantify it, not in terms of tokens per task done, right? There's dollars to done, and there's time to done, time to first token. And so I think amount of tokens to get done a discrete task is really important, because there's not just the cost per token, but there's the token efficiency of how efficient are the thinking mechanisms. And then obviously important to point out, the harness also matters. It's not just the raw intelligence, the harness and what questions you are asking it has a big role in how expensive token usage is.
Yeah. I will say that GPT 5.2 Codex was the first model to get people to start to question anthropic dominance for coding. And GPT 5.3 Codex now is even more compelling. There are a lot of people that are Claude pilled, that think opus, it's on it, and that's it. But people are realizing, hey, maybe especially 5.2 Codex would take a long time, but it would go off the rails less. Like it would better adhere to instructions. It would better adhere to the objectives. So there are people that are preferring GPT 5.3 Codex over Opus.
Well, and also, I was thinking about it from the price perspective, and I'm thinking about this. I took my kids to the dentist today, and a lot of the work, a lot of the time is with the dental hygienist, and then they get everything set up, and then the dentist comes in, gives their 2-minute poke around, gives their very domain-specific expertise, and then leaves. And then the dental hygienist wraps up. And it's almost like that Sonnet Opus thing where you want to use the more expensive resource with discretion. We've got our 3 minutes here. Last wrap up. You think, give this a try, give 5.3 a try. It's available in all your coding harnesses. And like you said, developer friendly. So you won't get in trouble if you use it with open code. What did you think about that clip? I hope it was useful. Check out the link in the description for the full episode. And we have new episodes coming out every single week, sometimes several times a week, about the latest AI news. We're doing a deep dive into OpenClaw soon. Check out our Substack. Follow us on all the different social media programs. Ask us questions. And check out our Discord, where we have lots of good AI chat discussions. Links are all in the description. See you next time.